Hey, it's Jen, and I'm back. This is my recap for PLL 521 Bloody Hell. First off, how excited am I that Allison is finally back? Oh my god, like, it was pretty unbearable all these past couple episodes, and there was no Allison. Like, what the fuck? You could at least shown some interaction in jail, which I guess now they're gonna do. Anyways, the episode starts off, you see the girls, Spencer, Emily, and Arya, go visit her in jail, and Arya, I don't know, she's fucking annoying this time around, or most of the time. But, I mean, I love Lucy, but Arya's just annoying. And anyway, she was just like, oh, you think we should go in there with our tail between our legs and apologize? Yes, bitch, you should. Because, one, you made a human blockade, and two, you destroyed any evidence that could have proved her innocence. Yes, you should go in there and fucking apologize. Like, what's your problem? And anyways, even Emily made me mad to a certain extent because of one thing that she said. I mean, I am so happy that she womaned up finally and was just like, oh my god, you know, we pretty much fucked her life over. Let's go apologize because it's the grown-up thing to do. Thank you, Emily. However, when she was just like, she's on trial for murder, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. Alright, bitch, didn't you, a couple episodes ago, grab Allison's hairbrush and wanted to go plant hair in Mona's house to fuck her up? I got you, you sneaky ass. Anyways, Hannah didn't show up to, the little visitation for Allison. She was still feeling guilty, about the other day, which I'll get into that later in the episode, because Hannah does show up later in the episode, and they have this emotional moment. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Also, there was no Emerson at all, unless you count Emily sort of talking, and then Allison sort of okaying. I mean, it was just, they're across the table. They weren't really talking directly. It was just more, I don't know how to explain it unless you watch it, then you can see. But there's no eye contact, nothing. Which I can understand. You know, because to Allison, Emily was so much more special than any of the other girls. And of course, like, I explained it in this forum the other day. But pretty much, actually I can pull it up. Because, and I was like, you know, I told everybody, I was like, look, I know we were all upset about Emerson tonight, but let's think about it. Because we can't rush into this. And I know they've been building up from the beginning. And, you know, like, I am a fan of angst. You know, because it makes the reunion that much sweeter. But, Emma and Allie are both really in a tough position. You know, Allie feels betrayed by Em, because out of all people, Allie felt like Emily would be the last to turn her back on her. Which in reality, well, in PLL reality, I mean, Emily was the last person to actually turn her back on Allison. But, you know, like, it comes to a point where lie after lie after lie makes you sort of look stupid. She was like, she had no choice but to turn her back. And, like, in the end, well, you know, like, out of everything, not, like, the end of the series. But in the, you know, like, it's just a figure of speech. In the end, I want both of them to really apologize and get their feelings out there on the table. You know? But, I mean, it's perfectly understandable that Allison wouldn't make any contact. You would want to avoid confrontation at all costs. I mean, she still feels betrayed. You know? And I'm, by no means am I saying that Allison is a saint. But she didn't try to frame anyone for murder. I mean, she was just a bitch. And I explained this in all my other videos, that all she ever was just a big bitch. You know what I'm saying? You don't go to jail for being a bitch. I mean, you just you get called a bitch. But you don't go to jail for being a bitch. So anyways, we go further into the episode. Oh, Hannah and Arya go to visit Cyrus in the burn unit. And, he was able to write on a piece of paper. He wasn't really able to talk because he, you know, was in the burn unit in the hospital. And he wrote what looked to be like Carjack. But Hannah finally figured out that it was Varjack. What's that? I don't know. We talk about it in the group. About Holly Golightly and, Paul Varjack from, what the fuck? Was it Breakfast at Tiffany's? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't remember. Anyways. But they figure out that Cyrus has never actually seen that person write that name down because he spelled it wrong and it almost looked like Carjack, but, you know, the V was sort of at a weird angle, and Hannah figured that it was Varjack. And the only person that I remember being referred to as Varjack was Ezra. Wasn't he? Allison was, she was the Holly Golightly to his Paul Varjack, or, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure y'all remember what I'm talking about. So anyways, that sort of, I mean, Ezra has always been a creepy-ass fuck to me, you know? So that just puts more creepiness. Oh, and, Arya's supposed to go meet with Andrew. Andrew's been so fucking creepy and thirsty. He's thirsty for Arya. Like, a lot. So, he goes on to talking about the Watergate scandal movie. Well, some movie about the Watergate scandal and stuff like that, about how a shadowy figure keeps telling everybody secrets. So, I don't know, that was really iffy. And I saw somewhere, on the thread that I'm in, I don't know, I can't remember, they got it from Tumblr, but the mummy that came up to, I guess, I don't know, we never got to see it, but I would assume that Cyrus was killed. I would assume. Not that we saw it, but I would assume. But, the mummy that was in the hospital bed is wearing the same shoes that Andrew was wearing, that you can see in the scene with him and Arya when Arya goes up to climb on top of Mike's shit and his fucking workbench breaks because A, went and changed the screws and the nuts because they don't match up right. So anyways, Spencer goes off to London. She was supposed to meet up with Ren and Melissa. Of course, they had other shit to do, so she's stuck with this guy named Colin who speaks horrible English, and not American English, but British English, and it was very hard to understand. And I understand, you know, like, I'm Southern myself, and I try to enunciate things so people can understand me clearly, which is funny because people from the South are just like, where are you from? Because you don't sound Southern. But I've lived here for most of my life. But there's some people that sound, you watch that show, King of the Hill, that sound like Boomhauer. They're like, and you're like, what the fuck you say? So anyways, his British accent was very hard to understand, and I'm not really sure what happened, because I can understand him. But Spencer goes to see the dean, and then there's a vial of blood in her purse that busted, and she's like, what the fuck? And she pretty much ran out. So I don't think she's going to get into college, because she didn't stick a tampon in it, and it bled all over the chair. So that was pretty gross. But, we see that Miss Hastings goes to visit Allison, and Allison asks if Miss Hastings could be her, her coach. You know, because Allison said, for once I'm telling the truth, and Miss Hastings is just like, well, you told so many lies, you know, nobody's going to believe you anymore. So, I mean, it's like, oh, well, I was going to reference, like, the little boy who cried wolf, you know, like, eventually they didn't believe him, and he got ate by the wolf. But, I mean, not saying that Allison will get ate by a wolf, but, you know, same context. So, anyways, I guess that Miss Hastings is going to try to help Allison. I'm not sure, because towards the end, Spencer was freaking out, and her mom actually called her and said she was reading over Allison's case file, and she's like, you know what, don't come home, just stay there, stay there. So obviously she found something that blipped off the radar or whatever, and she's like, oh shit, you better stay your ass across the country, don't come back anytime soon. But how about Talia and Emily? Alright, look, don't get me wrong, Emerson is my OTP. However, we understand the circumstances that are going on now. So Talia and Emily intrigue me. And it's nice that Talia actually left her husband. Thank you. I mean, it would have been even more fucked up if she stayed with him. You know, denying her true inner feelings of how she is. I mean, everybody should come out at their own right time. But she womaned up too. Look, you know, like, that's not who I am, and I pretty much told him how it was, and we split. And, you know, Emily was like, oh, was that because of me? And she's like, well, it was going to come up anyway, so. Either way, I am happy that Talia split with her husband, because it's not like she stayed with him and then was still trying to fuck around with Emily. So, Emily's still doing the pageant thing. One of the pageant people were just like, yeah, I've been staring at your face all day, and you know how Emily be reeling them in. So, you know, she was practicing, to Shakira and Rihanna. Anyways, Talia comes in and they dance a little bit, and then Talia sort of falls, and she starts crying. But not because she got hurt, just because she's emotional. And anyways, I thought it was cute that, you know, Emily got Talia back up and sort of slow danced with her for a little while and stuff like that. And let me think. Later on, the coach comes. The coach comes in and was just like they made it seem like that she was alluding to the fact that Emily didn't have good moral conduct because she was gay and who she dated. And she's like, oh, no, it's because you're so close to the Alison De Laurentiis case. And Talia was just like, what? So, anyways, I thought it was cool that Talia got up and was about to, like, tell that bitch off because they were assuming that she was talking about being gay, which she wasn't. But later on, Talia does stand up for Emily and just goes and pretty much tells the bitch off, like, look, if you're not going to allow her or encourage her to do this pageant, then I think your sponsor should pay for her education. So anyways, I give props to Talia. I mean, she stood up for Emily and all that shit. So I mean, I like Talia. I know not a lot of people do. I didn't even realize that. Well, I don't know. I've seen some people say Emerson fans don't like Talia. I'm an Emerson fan, and I do like Talia. I think it's, you know, it's fresh, it's new, and I don't know. The only bad thing was the whole husband thing, but now he's gone. So, I mean, in the meantime, it's something, you know, refreshing and nice until, you know, Emerson is endgame. Hashtag. So, anyways, don't worry about it. Okay, so the end of the episode, Hannah goes to see Alison. And Sasha is such a good actress. And, like, when she started crying and she's like, can we start over? And I was like, oh man, like, I almost have tears in my eyes. Like, I normally don't cry. Like, I won't cry at nobody's funeral, but she's just a good actress. So she had me tearing up and shit. And it felt so awkward when Hannah took a moment and she was just like, just shaking her head, right? And then she said, but we can try. I was like, oh, thank God. You know, like, I got so scared for a moment because I was like, oh my God, damn. Well, but anyways, that was pretty much the end of the episode. Next week's episode, hopefully, it looks more exciting. I don't want Alison to get beat up, but it looks like she's going to get beat up. Because at the end of this episode, you saw sticking $20 bills in the Bible. So, of course, he's going to pay the jail inmates. God, I can't fucking talk today. He's going to pay the jail inmates, bribe them to go beat the shit out of Alison. And that's what I don't... Oh, my baby. No. But anyways, we see Caleb walk up to Hannah and said, oh, well, they have a warrant out for your arrest. Which we know that Alison is supposed to, she's supposed to be offered a plea deal. That if she incriminates one of the liars, that what was it? I don't know. I forgot the plea deal. But maybe she wouldn't be charged with murder. I don't remember. But anyways, I think the way they showed it, it looks like she did. I don't think Alison incriminated herself. I mean, incriminated Hannah. I think something fucked up happens to Hannah, and she ends up going to jail for whatever the hell that she got framed for. But I really, truly believe that Alison was so sincere during this episode that I don't believe that she would incriminate one of her friends right even after, you know, her saying, can we try over again? You know, can we try to be friends? You know, I don't think she would be a bitch and do that. So, I think Hannah just ends up getting in jail for whatever the hell she gets in jail for. And besides that, you know, Ari pretty much convinced Alison not to incriminate Mike, even though Mike can honestly get Alison out of jail, you know, by telling what the hell Mona was doing with taking blood and storing vials in her fake computer case thing. So, I mean, I don't know. Ari is selfish as shit. I feel like Mike can get a good lawyer and then duress or whatever for whatever, you know, and just they'll be fine. But anyways, Excuse me. Anyways, that's pretty much it. That's my PLO recap for 521 Bloody Hell, and I will see you next week. Anyways, rate, comment, subscribe below. Tell me your theories. Tell me anything. I like interacting with people that subscribe to my channel. So, anyways, I'll see y'all next week. Y'all take care.